Here we go. Well, hey, it's Brian G. Johnson on behalf of TubeBuddy. It's fantastic to be here live streaming today. Really excited to share some tips and strategies. And looks like every time you think you got it figured out, hey, there I am. Great to see you. What is going on? Man, it is the first time I've been back live streaming in quite a while, and it is fantastic to spend some time with you here today. I want to let you know that we're going to be talking about video titles. We're going to talk about how to get views the easiest way. Check this out. There is so much to do as a YouTube creator. It's check it. I mean, crazy, right? I mean, you got all this gear and all this stuff, and it took me so long to learn how to make that work. But what I want to let you know today is that it's absolutely very possible, and it's a whole lot easier to really leverage the power of a great video title. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. A little bit about thumbnails as well. And we're going to get underway. I actually have a presentation soon, but I do want to say hello to some of the people in the chat. First of all, a lot of you are asking about Otis. Woo! That was a close call. And you can see it here. Otis is my co-pilot. Great to see you guys in the house. Real Estate Whisper, what's going on? Lily Tree, welcome. Great to see you. Welcome, everybody, to the live stream. I'm doing fantastic. Otis is doing much, much better. That was scary. You know, being responsible for a dog is something else. So I want to let you know it's just you and me today. Andrew's not here, so we're flying by the seat of our pants, and it seems like things are working out okay. We've got 51 people here. I want to let you know that we are going to jump in to a presentation. In fact, I'm going to pull up YouTube on my iPad so I can kind of see. There we go. I see I am indeed live. So I'm going to pull that up, and we're going to pull down the volume, and now I got a monitor here and one here. So let's do this. I'm going to jump in, and I'm going to share some ideas and strategies that I've learned about really crafting great titles to drive more views. Pam, did I say hi? If I didn't, hello. Anthony, welcome. Great to see you. It's complicated. Yo, what's cracking? Good to see you. So let's do this. Here we go, gang. Let's go press this button here. And then you should see a presentation on the screen any second. Again, we're going to talk about today the easiest way that you can get more views to your YouTube videos. And, you know, as I've been a creator myself, as I've gone down the path of really learning how to compel somebody to click on the thumbnail, not to trick them, but to compel someone, there are a lot of things that I've learned that have really helped me out. So let's see. It seems like we're doing good with the presentation. Looks good. How's the audio, gang? I see a hi, Doug. I guess Doug is in the house. Doug, if you're around. Hey, there he is, Doug. Doug, can you believe it? Here I am finally back streaming, and it feels great. The thing is I've kind of been working on this secret project for like 2 weeks, and man, sounds fine. Audio is good. Excellent. So again, if you're not familiar with me, my name is Brian G. Johnson. You can find me on YouTube. Just search for Brian G. Johnson, and I'll come up. And let's just jump in. So here's what I want you to think about. You can do this the hard way, or you can do it the easy way. The choice is really yours. And learning all the tech and whatnot is really time consuming, but once you learn a few strategies with how to title your video, with how to create a better thumbnail, that is yours forever. Like, you can use that in every single video you publish moving out. So for me, I want to figure out the path of least resistance, the easiest way that I can move forward and win the click. Now, so for me, this is hard. Can anybody relate? Like, our audience retention is challenging. Audience retention is something that I practice and I ponder and I publish another video and I spend hours and hours editing and I do all these things. And sometimes it improves, but boy, it's challenging. Now, to be fair, YouTube has gone on record and they say, you know, videos with consistently high audience retention and watch time have the potential to show up more frequently in search and suggested locations on YouTube. So there it is. That's the proof that we all want to know. We want to take information from YouTube and use that. So we know audience retention works, but it's challenging. Now, this is another image that I've used in hundreds of videos. Rewarding, engaging videos that keep viewers watching. And that's another way to say this, right? That's another way to say audience retention, engaging videos that keep viewers watching. So today I want to really share with you the secret about watch time. And check this out, gang. This is for real. Like, I can't even see now. Like, man, I'm in presentation mode. And so, no, if I press, I guess I need 3 monitors. It's ridiculous. Now, here's what's up. We got to keep this on don't tell anybody this, but there is a secret about watch time I don't think most people really understand. Check this out. Let's go, now that I've done all this hokey stuff, let's go back to this button, I guess, and then we'll press this button again. So here's what I really want you to think about. How YouTube measures watch time is very different than how most creators think about it. And what we want to think about is it's really based on a simple function of expected watch time per impression. Now, those of you that, you've watched my videos, you've attended my live streams, I talk about this nerdy stuff all the time. But some of you might not have heard me talk about this deep neural network paper and expected watch time per impression. My goal today is to really make it easy for you to understand exactly what that means. How does it work and how can I apply it? So first off, we'll check this out. So this comes from the new impression data, and notice the red arrow. You can increase the chance of YouTube suggesting your content by increasing your click-through rate and your video watch time. So YouTube is telling us to do 2 things. Number 1, increase your click-through rate, and number 2, increase your video watch time. So here it is. These are the 2 things. Watch time per impression is really a simple mathematical function of how often people click on your thumbnails. That's 1, thumbnail clicks, multiplied by your average view duration. So what that means is if we have really high percentage of people clicking our thumbnails, we're going to multiply the amount of watch time. And that is super, super powerful. 87 people here. Great to have you. Just kidding. Welcome. Great to see you. Who else? The Bacon Wizard. Welcome. Good to have you on board. Leather Rock in the house. So this is what we're really talking about today. This number right here. In this case, this video of mine, Dirty Secrets, YouTube algorithm, has a click-through rate of 4.3%. So if we back up here, there it is. The thumbnail click-through percentage is 4.3 multiplied by the average view duration. So again, 4.3% multiplied by the average view duration, which is 5 minutes. And that's what equals the watch time. Okay, so here's all you really need to think about. The big arrow that points to the number, that's the click-through ratio. The higher that goes, the more you can increase your watch time. So here it is in a real-world sense. What does this actually look like? It's a lot of mumbo-jumbo. Well, it's really quite simple. An impression is when someone is on YouTube and they're searching, and in this case, Apple Marketing Strategy is the example I pulled, and an impression is just when YouTube shows your video, your thumbnail, and that counts as an impression. when someone clicks, that is that 4.3 or 2% or 6%. So all you need to think about is the CTR. Just think of click, thumbnail click. And in this case, we're going to start kind of uncovering how this really works. So check this out now. I published and launched my channel on March 1st, 2016. And you can see here that this video was published on March 10th, 2016. In other words, my channel was just 10 days old. And I didn't really have a lot of subscribers, and the video wasn't the greatest. The average view duration is okay. It's not horrible, but it's nothing to write home about. 2 minutes and 38 seconds. But again, what we really want to think about is how often people click on the thumbnail is going to multiply this number. So if we have a 4% click-through ratio, we're going to have 4 times 2 minutes and 38 seconds. If we have a 2% click-through ratio, our watch time would be 2 times 2 minutes and 38 seconds. So here, when I search for the phrase Apple branding, my video shows up number 1. And I think the thumbnail is pretty good. I made this thumbnail again when my channel was 10 days old. I had a lot of ideas. I did a lot of studying, but I didn't have a lot of data. So I was kind of green. But I still think when I look at the other thumbnails that mine does a bit better of a job. The second video is not even a thumbnail. There's no thumbnail there. Can we agree on that? There's no real thumbnail. And it is Steve Jobs, but it's a younger Steve Jobs. And I don't think the picture does the video justice. If we look at the third video, Apple branding strategies, I don't get it. I mean, we all know that pretty women are going to draw attention. But is there really a connection between this woman that's featured in the third video slot and Apple branding strategies? I don't think so. And the fourth video is a classic, what I consider a mistake. A classic mistake where the YouTuber basically took the exact video title and then tried to get every word from the video title into the thumbnail. And I think it makes the thumbnail harder to read. So I think when you look at my thumbnail, better branding, you see the Nike logo, you see the Apple logo, and you can't argue with results. It's number 1. So that's pretty good. And I kind of just went through all these examples how they suck. Can we agree they could be better? Hey Phil, welcome. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. Hey Beanie, it's great to have you here. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream, guys. This is the TubeBuddy channel. I am Brian G. We're talking about how to write better titles and also how to think about your thumbnails to improve the amount of people clicking on your video, which will dramatically improve your watch time. Do not underestimate the power of a great and clickable thumbnail. 103 watching, I know. Matthew, it's crazy. It's a lot of pressure. 105. I better keep it together here, folks. So I have a question. Okay, guys, I need some audience participation. Dr. Sten, I'm talking to you. Matthew, you too. I have a question, and I need some feedback. My question is, here we have a video. Check it out. It's got an average view duration of 6 minutes. Average view duration of 6 minutes. We have another video here. It's the same topic, YouTube algorithm 2018. The second video has an average view duration of 5 minutes and 10 seconds. My question is simple. Which one of these videos do you think has more watch time per impression? Where's Daniel? No, Daniel? I'm going to fire that guy if he's not in this live stream. Anybody, let me know. So which one of these thumbnails, which one of these videos is actually doing a better job at watch time? Someone said algorithm. They're both about algorithm. The first one at 6 minutes and 2 seconds. The second one, The first one, the top left. Well, okay, here's where it gets pretty interesting, because the top left actually has, it does not have the watch time metrics of the second one. This is the video here that has more watch time per impression. Watch time per impression. And here's why. Okay, and this is real life examples now. Cigar Boss. I'm glad you're participating. Welcome. And it's actually not the first, it's this one. It's the second one. And notice here, the click-through rate is 3.2%. 3.2%. So if you multiply 3.2 multiplied by 5 minutes and 56 seconds, and this screenshot is slightly different. The average view duration is about the same though, because I took the screenshots at different times, but I think you guys get it. Well, check out the average click-through rate, the click-through rate for the Dirty Little Secrets video. It's got another 1% click-through ratio, right? The old video, the other video, remember, is 3.2%. And this video has 4.3% click-through ratio. And even though it's got a shorter average view duration, when you multiply 4 times 3 multiplied by 5 minutes and 5 seconds, you actually get better watch time metrics. So this video here, YouTube algorithm, Dirty Little Secrets, for every 1,000 impressions, and that basically means when YouTube shows the video in search, when YouTube shows the video on the homepage, when someone sees the video, that is an impression. And for every 1,000 impressions, this video gets on average 219 minutes of watch time. However, this video, YouTube algorithm 2018, to dominate suggested video views, even with the longer average view duration, gets 190 minutes of watch time. So that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys today. We're going to dive in and we're going to talk about how this really works, but that just shows you that you can have a video that actually has inferior watch time metrics. You can have a video that has very average watch time metrics, but if you've got a good title and a good thumbnail, you can really crush it. And this is how you compete against the good channels, the big channels. I think everybody's channel is good. So let's keep going, and I've kind of set it up. I'm going to talk a little bit about how this stuff works, what to look for, and then we're going to talk about how I like to craft my video titles and how you can do the same. And we'll press this button once again. I'll have a sip of water. And we're stuck on this slide again. There we go. And here we go. Now, remember when I started out our live stream today, I mentioned this video. And I kind of talked about, I published this video when my channel was just 10 days old. Well, check this out. Check the click-through ratio on this video, 5.6%. It's even better. And that means that even though this video has an average view duration of just 2 minutes and 38 seconds, it's got a big multiplier, right? The click-through rate is the multiplier. So because a lot of people are clicking, I've actually got pretty good watch time per impression. Okay, so we've established that a great title and a great thumbnail working together can drive more clicks. How do you actually do it? Hey, Ron, don't think you just can mosey on in here and not get called out by me. It's great to have you here. Welcome. Nice to have you on board, Ron. Ron, we're talking about titles and thumbnails, and we're going to dive into right now about 7, 8, 9 different things, different ways and methods and strategies. I like to call them rituals that people can use to improve the click-through ratio. So here's our example. Number 1, shorter titles are better. And this one took me a real long time to understand and really to implement, and I'll explain why. But make no mistake, shorter titles, video titles are better. Why is that? Well, number one, this is the attention span of a viewer on YouTube. It's about the length of a goldfish. And furthermore, this goldfish has got a lot of distraction. There are a lot of things, a lot of different things to click on. Everyone's vying for attention. And our job as YouTube creators is to create something that's very easy and simple to comprehend. There is no reading. Nobody's reading thumbnail titles. Nobody's reading the video titles. We're glancing, we're swiping, we're clicking. We're ordering a cappuccino, mocha latte, half calf, decaf with skim milk, please. And Steve Martin, I'm sorry for ripping that joke off. The check is in the mail. And with that, when you craft a shorter title, it really makes it easier for the viewer to understand at a glance what your video is about. And I love this title. It works really great. YouTube algorithm, dirty little secrets. We're going to talk more about why this is a great title as we move forward. Now, this comes from Matt Gielen. If you haven't heard of Matt, he's done a lot of work with a lot of big YouTube channels, and he's done a lot of analysis on what drives great results for a YouTube channel. And he says, on average, shorter titles appear to yield more placement in suggested video views. "105 people still here." So there you have it. Matt seems to think that shorter titles are a way to go. And again, I think it's because it's easier to comprehend. Comprehend is like you understand, but it's definitely not reading. So number two is I'm all about really simple formatting. Simple formatting that's easy for people to understand. Now we're going to kind of go back to some Brian G. Johnson old school stuff, but I want to pile on some new ideas around why this works so well. So number one, we always start with the YouTube keyword phrase. The beginning of your video title, in my opinion, I believe you'll do better over time if you adopt this type of a formatting for all your videos. And the more you do this, the more likely you're going to see an improvement. So why is it that shorter titles do better? Well, number one, if I want to rank for the keyword phrase YouTube algorithm 2018, if I only include that phrase and very little else, then the video title becomes very relevant for that one phrase. It's more likely that I'm going to rank for only one phrase instead of trying to jam-pack my video title with a bunch of different keywords. And furthermore, when you create a really long title, it's harder to understand what's going on. So I always begin my video title with a YouTube keyword phrase. At the end, I'm going to include a dash, keyword phrase, dash, and then I used to use the word compelling, but this is YouTube. And the word we use, who knows the word that we use on YouTube for compelling? Anybody? I just want more. Someone has been taking a peek at my old videos. What's the word that we use to describe compelling fake news? That's kind of it. I think the word is clickbait. Clickbait, that is right. Straight Up Eats, clickbait. And what you want to do is you want to entice the viewer. You want to compel the viewer to go, oh, there's dirty little secrets about YouTube. I'm in, and click. And we saw the results, like a percentage better. Powerful stuff. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to bait and switch. You really want to honor the viewer. And in this example, the title is YouTube Algorithm 2018, Dirty Little Secrets. And it's important that I cover that information, that I deliver on what I'm promising, right? And I've done that. no one has ever really called me out for clickbait, even though I strive to add just enough of it in to win. So again, better formatting makes it easier to understand at a glance. I believe that that dash in there, and let me know what you think. I would really like your feedback. I mean, the real answer is we have to do a scientific experiment, and we'll talk about that as we move forward. But I think when you separate two short phrases with a dash, it makes it easier to comprehend. Number 3 is to be topical. You want to publish videos that are of immediate interest to viewers on YouTube. That's what the word topical means. A subject of immediate interest or importance. And you've seen it before, again and again. When there is something that is of immediate interest, people click. We'll talk about exactly what that is as we move forward. But just be aware that you want to really be thinking of what is it that the viewers are interested in. If you want to grow, then it's your responsibility to publish the video they want to watch, right? So how can you be topical? Pay attention to sites like Google News. Pay attention to the trending tab. And also be aware of what other YouTubers are publishing that are publishing content that's similar to what you're publishing. In Straight Up Eats, this is a great way to do what your question is. Straight Up Eats says, Brian, what's the best way to find topical content on YouTube? One of the things is just to ask the question, what is it that people really want to, what are people really interested in? And the more you ask yourself that, the more you'll think about it, the more you'll find clues. But all of these sources are a great way to get started. Google News, the trending tab. It's really important to pay attention to what other YouTubers are publishing, and you especially want to pay attention to if there's a hot topic. And oftentimes, a new product or a new service will create a lot of videos based on a lot of YouTubers. Stuff will hit the trending tab as well as Google News, and that's going to be the new iPhone that we're starting to hear rumors about, and that'll come out in September. And for those of you that are a little bit older like me, when I see the word controversy, I think of Prince. And controversy is something that drives people to click. They almost can't help themselves. So these are things that we can do to publish videos that get higher click-through rates. Number 4, this is kind of something new, and I think it's really important to think about these things through to ensure you're appealing to a bigger audience that will result in higher click-throughs. You want to have mass appeal and understanding. And what do I mean by that? This is Live Aid. Okay, this was the audience at Live Aid. And what you want to think about is you want to publish a video that obviously is going to have a lot of interest for a lot of people. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I think this next image might not be so self-explanatory. And you want to make sure that there is understanding of the viewer. For example, when I started working on titles for this live stream, I'll probably publish a video in the next 3, 4, or 5 days on the subject. I've thought about using the word YouTube Analytics in my video title. But the fact of the matter is the amount of people that want to grow a channel that are thinking about the word YouTube Analytics is very, very small compared to the amount of people that are thinking of things like grow on YouTube, get more views. So you want to create something that has mass appeal and is something that is understood and of interest of the viewing audience. So in my case, again, I have skipped the word analytics. Number 5, who was it that Something Eats asked, how can we come up with these topics? Another thing you can do to really uncover and identify the kind of topics that are going to drive more clicks is to dive into your YouTube analytics, and you want to learn from the videos that have done well for you. And what I would encourage you to do is not only pay attention to the amount of views you're driving, but also pay attention to things like views, watch time, the engagement of a video, and subscribers. If you get this, right? If you get 100,000 views, but hardly any subscribers, is that really the kind of video you want to publish? Well, if you want to grow a channel, probably not. So instead, what we want to think about is thinking of success as not just views, but views, watch time, engagement, and subscribers. Another thing we can do when we talk about learning from previous videos is you can learn from previous videos. Now, I didn't say this. Listen up! Okay, there's a pretty cool video dropping on the channel tomorrow. It might be called Trigger the YouTube Algorithm, and it might be a rock and roll song, and it might blow your mind. But you're probably not interested in it anyway. So what you can do is you can access the YouTube Studio Beta to gain more information about the videos that are doing good. So if you look in the upper left-hand corner, when you log into Studio, you're going to see that blue icon. Click on that, and then you're going to be brought to this page, right? You guys have been paying attention to Studio, right? It's pretty helpful. Honestly, I'm not hip on all of the layout. Like this first thing I wanted to show you was this kind of card, which gives me information based on how my videos are performing when they're released. And you can see this video here is number 7 out of the last 10 videos. And wouldn't you know it, look, all the metrics I mentioned, YouTube mentions, like watch time, average view duration, and engagement. They measure engagement with comments. Can you imagine? Look at that video. 672 comments. A lot of comments because I was talking to our community, right? So once you're on this page, then click on videos in the left. You can see videos is highlighted. And I've moused over ignore the YouTube algorithm. And if I click on that, it will take me into information about that specific video. And then in the top navigation, we've got overview, reach viewers, and that's what this image or pages of the reach viewers, which is the impression click-through rate. And this is also the sad traveler. You're probably not. The sad traveler is asking, why don't I see those cards? Because you're probably not in the YouTube Studio Beta. So if you look at the screenshot here, make sure to click on the blue icon that says YouTube Studio Beta. And this is why I wanted to be really specific about how to get there so you don't miss all this wonderful information that will help you grow your channel. And trigger the alg. This is back on the card I mentioned, so really helpful. And then when we dive in, we can actually see the impression to click-through rate of each video. I was really careful to highlight July 15th. Notice it says 2.3%. One of the things we're going to talk about in just a minute is really how to look at the impression data, how to split test it, how to learn from it, what to be thinking about, and so on. Then Daniel, you're late. I can't even believe it. But okay, let's just keep going, everybody. Okay, so I think we've covered a lot of ground here. If you guys are digging this, do me a favor. I see 10 very sad likes right now. That's pathetic. I feel like we could do better than 10 likes. If you found this to be helpful, please click the thumbs up. And if you're like, not so much, then click the thumbs down and let us know. And I'll refresh that in a minute. what are some other things that you can do to really identify topical titles and topical videos, the video titles you want to go with? Well, one of the things I've shared in the past is to learn from leading channels in your niche. And I'm subscribed to so many channels because I want to see what works for lifestyle channels, beauty vloggers, real estate whisperers. 60 likes. Wow. That's crazy, that's a lot of pressure now. Hey, Cricket, what are you doing here? Oh my gosh. Cricket made it, everybody. So this is what you do. Find a channel in your niche, access videos on that channel, and then select most popular. There's a drop-down option, whether you're on the desktop or whether you're on a mobile device. This is my iPad. Do a lot of work on my iPad. Really love my iPad. And here you can, these are the number 1 and 2 and 3, the top leading videos for Kristen Marie. Cool. 73 likes. Thank you guys. I really appreciate that. Let's see. I'm going to refresh the page. 5 dislikes. Oh, golly. What are you going to do, right? Okay. Now, tip number 7 is you go freaking ninja on them. And this is some of the stuff that I've been doing over time to really learn not what I think works the best. Like, let me do this. Let me push this button. There's so many buttons. There really is too many buttons for me to push here. A lot of us will ask, hey, is this a good thumbnail? Do you think this is a good thumbnail? Do you like this? Is this a better title? That doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is your audience and the viewing public on YouTube. So what you want to do is you want to really study your analytics, your metrics, and you want to split test your thumbnails. Now, this is something you can do inside of TubeBuddy, and it's also something you can do on your own. You just have to save a lot of the information yourself. Obviously, TubeBuddy makes it really simple and easy to move forward. Someone said the likes went through the 74 likes. That's awesome. Fantastic. And I shouldn't have, I've got the video playing on my desktop. I've got the video playing on my iPad. It's amazing I'm not buffering, but we're doing okay. So I want to talk a little bit more about split testing and how do you really do that? Because you don't want to screw this up. If you make some mistakes and you think you're split testing, you kind of sabotage the data. So nobody wants data that's been like messed with. So let me hit all these fancy buttons. Now it turns out the button that's video actually flips to my desktop. And then I'll click this fancy button. Okay, so how exactly, what are some of the things you want to think about when you split test? Well, number 1, you can do this from inside of YouTube, and what you want to do is you want to count the impressions. And we can talk more about that. I'm going to take questions after this presentation, which is up in like about 6 minutes and 22 seconds. So it's really important that if you do a split test, you don't change a lot of different parameters. You don't want to change the name of your video title and the thumbnail, because then you really don't know what is it that generated a better or worse result. If you change 2 or 3 things, you don't know what's working or not. So when I split test, I only change thumbnails or I only change my video title. If I come up with a new video title, the thumbnail remains the same. I hope that makes sense. Number 2 is when you look at your metrics inside of the new studio dashboard, like this screen right here. This is metrics from a brand new video. When I took this screenshot, the video was out for maybe a week. Yeah, it looks like about a week or so, right? Week, 10 days. And what I think is really important is you want to start measuring your impressions. So notice this video here has had 40,000 impressions. That number's on the left right next to the click-through rate. And you really want to only start measuring impressions once your video has been out for, say, a month. And the reason why is you want most of the views coming in to be non-subscribers. If you publish a video tomorrow, the next few days, the impression and click-through rate is going to be high because the subscribers are going to be clicking a lot more than non-subscribers. So give your video about a month before you start really paying attention to impression and click-through data, because you want most of the views to be non-subscribers. And I see some questions coming in. I will go ahead and take questions specifically from you in just a moment. I don't want to keep your questions at bay. So again, 30 days or older, and we want to make sure most of the views are coming in from non-subscribers. Now, TubeBuddy has got a fantastic offer for creators, and there is a link down below in the description. They've always got a fantastic way to get started as a creator, and you may want to upgrade your account so you can do split testing, because this kind of stuff, it costs money. Like if you get really serious and you want great results, then it pays to invest in your channel. Now, if you can't do that, I totally understand. And the other thing I want to say is, don't think for a minute you've got to have the fancy camera and all the tools to move forward and grow, because you don't. What you do have to do is really strive, learn, grow, and do what you can with what you've got, okay? So again, link to TubeBuddy and getting the TubeBuddy browser plugin installed is in the description below. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, spending some time, letting me share some of my ideas with you. If you've enjoyed this live stream, there is a link to my channel. Feel free to stop by and subscribe. And let's do this now. I'm going to press another button. I'm going to have a drink of water. And thank you, DV Nerd. I'm glad you felt that this was great. And we're not done. I'm going to hang out here for a bit. I'm going to hit this button here now. There we go. So, gang, if you have questions, vidIQ or TubeBuddy, well, it's kind of weird, Mello, right? I mean, here we are. We're on the TubeBuddy channel. And I'm just going to straight up answer you and tell you what I think about that. I work with TubeBuddy, so you should know that number one, I do get paid. And number two, you should also know that before I got paid, I bought the TubeBuddy plugin and had like 2 accounts, I believe. And I also tested out vidIQ, but I felt a little overwhelmed with the sheer amount of data. I really I like TubeBuddy. It's been very helpful. And again, I'm paid, so take it with a grain of salt. And that's kind of weird. I'm saying it on TubeBuddy. And, you know, I was telling one of the guys I work with that I'm more of a creator, and I'm more someone that likes to teach, likes to teach and share ideas than sell. Let's do this. So if you have a question or two, feel free to drop it in the chat. Again, it's been my pleasure. It's been so great. Hey, Jay Malone, what is going on? Good to see you. Hey, Pam, what is cracking? Everyone's saying hi to Jay. Here's what's up. I want to share one of my personal philosophies about community, because I've been in our community for a long time. And what I just said is what I want to share. This is our community. You don't own it. You can't, like, you can go start your own channel and you can want to grow your community. But the way I think about it is it's our community. And everybody has an opportunity to invest in the community and so on. And it's so great to know pretty much everybody in this live stream right now, except a few. Hey, Touring Midwest. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, my friend. Meowcaster, hey Brian, how can I get people to subscribe? It's honestly hard for me to turn viewers into subscribers. Well, first off, know that you're not alone. Typically, 1% is a starting off point for turning a viewer into a subscriber. So for every 100 viewers, you might get 1 subscriber. That was my average when I started, and when I started really improving, I grew that number to 2.5%, to 3.5%, which is amazing. But just know that as you get started, 1% is great. What can you do to improve that number? Number 1, really choose very specific videos that you want to create based on search terms. And this is not so much about SEO, it's about knowing what a viewer wants. Think about this, super powerful. When you know what somebody wants, it's a lot easier to deliver the information they're looking for. And no one's going to subscribe unless they feel they got what they came for. Let me give you an example. Back in the day, I made crazy money selling Halloween costumes as an affiliate. A really hard sell would be to try to rank for Halloween costume or to try to get people to buy, because someone searching for Halloween costume doesn't even really know what they want. Yet if I make a video on kids plus size candy corn witch costume, I can create a very specific piece of content around not a Halloween costume, but a witch costume, and not even a witch costume, but a candy corn witch costume that's plus size. So when you identify a keyword phrase and you know exactly what that's about, you can create content around that, and typically you will see a higher subscriber to view ratio. Another thing you can do is tell people to subscribe early on. The biggest thing you can do, the thing that people don't quite grasp, the thing that's right in front of us, is make better content. Strive to improve your content, your editing, your delivery, not saying ums and ahs, having presence on camera, your voiceover. Do that and you will grow. Hey Dan, what's going on? Good to see you. The Murder Show, hello. That scares me a little bit. I'm going to be honest. So what do we got? We got another 10 minutes or so. I've really enjoyed coming back and live streaming. This has been my first live stream in probably like 6 weeks, 2 months. I was sick for a while. I missed VidCon. Dang it all. Shadow Music, what is going on? Good to see you. Vern, welcome. Hello. Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Hey, how are you? I am good. Badass Mindset in the house. Michael, it's nice to see you, my friend. Brian, been making videos for 2 months. First 3 videos got around 100, but newest videos, excuse me. So Straight Up Eats is one of the things I want to share, is try not to get too hung up on every video is going to do better than your last, because that's impossible, right? And one of the things I've thought about is, as human beings, we've all seen the growth charts, right? Like what a growth chart looks like. It's up and it's down. But for some reason, we get kind of mixed up on YouTube. We expect stats to always go up, and it doesn't happen. The other thing I want to say is, obviously, depending on the video you create, the topic you cover, how you title your video is going to be very, very different each video to each video. So sometimes you're publishing a video and you're going into a niche, a group of videos that's extremely competitive. One of the best things everybody can do in this live stream, I'm talking 105 YouTubers, is to be aware of how competitive it's going to be for your video to show up in search, for your video to show up in suggested video views. And myself and Owen Video and Nick Nimmin and so many great channels on YouTube talk about this all the time. It begins with keyword research and really understanding the landscape, how competitive search terms are. Hey Mike, what is going on? It is a pleasure. Good to see you. Couple more questions and then we're gonna roll. I am too small to care about how many views or subs I get. I just need to keep producing. That is the spirit. Man, that is awesome. And that's really the way to look at it. You know, if we're able to focus on the actual video content rather than the views and subs, to the best we can, because we're always going to want views and subs. Like, that's just human nature. We want to be heard. We want to create something that matters. But the more we strive to improve what we're doing, the better results we're going to get. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. I know that's the path. Pow! Well, gang, I feel like this was a pretty darn good live stream. First one back. Pretty exciting. I got to be honest. I'm going to get in big trouble with TubeBuddy for about 13 reasons. But I got to tell you, I'm excited about what's happening tomorrow. Something pretty big is happening on my channel tomorrow. I got a question for you. What's the longest period of time you've worked on one video? One video, like you really started it. You started scripting it or shooting it and editing. How long? Just drop me a comment below. I'd love to know. Hey, Science Gal Aquatics, great to see you. I've seen you around. 5 days, says Pam. 6 hours, says Mello. Science Gal Aquatics says, I can't wait till tomorrow. Months, very recently. Daniel, I just spit a little bit. I feel like I've got that was awkward, but that is my specialty. Several days. What if I told you me and Daniel have been working on one video for 12 days? Like we didn't stop for 12 days. What kind of knucklehead does that? I just want to remind you that my dog Otis is my co-pilot. And he's doing better. Yeah, 12 days. So when someone says 6 hours, that's about my average short video. I probably average 6 to 12 hours. We're gluttons. Yes, we are. Knuckleheads. It's going to be cool. Well, I hope so, Pamela. Okay, let's go back to one or two more questions. Good to hear about Otis. Yes, he's doing awesome. I've been working on a video on and off for a couple of months. I keep learning so much, not sure how complete it is. Yeah, Matthew, I hear you. And one of the things is you don't want to get caught in the trap of not starting because you're fearful. And I'm not saying that's you, but I have seen some people, and they will comment, I'm still working on my first video. And it's like, whoa. Like sooner or later, you got to kick the door down and announce your arrival and say, here I am, flaws and all. And oftentimes people ask me, like, how do I get over that fear? You get over it by walking through it. Like, there's no, like, secret sauce. You just have to kind of do it and move forward. Got to go, guys. Bye, Brian. Goodbye. Good to see you. Gang, we've got about 2 or 3 more minutes, 1 or 2 more questions, and then I'm out of here. What does duplication mean? I've got rejected from the YouTube partner program for this reason. You know, that's a really great question. I'm not sure, to be honest. I would imagine it has something to do with the content you're producing. Maybe are you uploading videos that were sourced somewhere else? Probably not, but if you are, obviously don't do that. Or maybe you're not creating something, super secret. No secret sauce. Anyway, is that, yes, for those of you wanting to save money, this is a sock for most human beings. For a YouTube creator, this is a pop filter. It's free. This is a free pop filter. Let's say you got an iPhone and you're creating voiceovers on an iPhone. You know what you do? You grab the iPhone, you stick it in a sock, pop filter. That just happened. Why video is automatic demonetization? I really need more information than that. There are so many reasons why a video is demonetized. I can't just tell you, well, here's why, based on 3 or 4 words. I'm sorry. Hey, Devin, good to see you. Always a pleasure. I hate catchphrases, secret sauce, and crushing it. You know, I used to work with some cool entrepreneurs, real estate whisperer, And one of the guys I worked with, John Rhodes, great guy, really smart. He used to talk about sucking the air out of a room. Like when we do these launches, let's just suck the. I'm like, I don't want to kill everybody. Oh, you know what? Oh, DG, that's just, I don't know. Like maybe you shouldn't be here then. Yeah, you're gone. Okay, gang, I think that's it for me. I want to say peace out. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Big video reveal. Who am I? I'm Brian G. Johnson. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'll see you around on my channel, back in the TubeBuddy saddle again. Thank you for stopping by, watching. Have an awesome evening, and I'll see you next time. You dig?